Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Thursday's special guest edition to the Final Boss podcast. Tonight's show, number 64, we have the wonderful Tanya Pease, who's an entrepreneur,
That's me. Good
philanthropist,
evening.
car enthusiast,
Mhm.
fashionista. Man, she's all of the things. Listen, man, we're gonna have a great show tonight. Thank you for tuning in, everyone who's watching. Listen, to everyone, because I didn't say this. This is my greeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And that's to everyone who's tuning in, no matter where you are around the world. Thank you for chiming in. We are here and we are ready to go. Tonight we got a real so we've been doing these segments on Thursdays for the last couple of weeks about business. And tonight we're going to pivot just a little bit. It's about business, but it's more than just business. We're going to talk about charities. We're going to talk about things that are affecting the community. We're going to talk about Corvettes. We're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about luxury. We're going to talk about all of the things that encompass Miss Tanya Pease, and she's going to tell you all about herself and everything she's got going on. But before we get into all that, we have to start with my brass tacks. And tonight's brass tacks is a quote from Oscar De La Renta. If you're familiar with Oscar De La Renta, he's a famous fashion designer. He owns, or did own, the fashion house of what, Miss Pease?
De La Soul? No.
we go.
I was just gonna say I haven't seen an Oscar De La Renta piece in a long time.
Yeah, it's high fashion. But tonight's brass tacks comes from him, and here it is. Being well dressed hasn't much to do with having good clothes. It's a question of good balance and good common sense. That's our brass tacks for tonight's show, going into episode number 64, from Corvettes to communities. Corvettes to communities. That is the title of tonight's show. And man, it is wonderful. Thank you first and foremost. I miss you. I miss you. I miss the Corvette family so much. You have no idea. It's been almost 2 years now since I had that crazy accident, and which took me out of the Corvette family. But I'm still here. But I'm looking to get back in it very soon, God willing. Um, you know, I thank you for participating in my surprise 50th birthday party. That was amazing to see you, Bats, Brett, and Felicia. Oh man, that was so awesome and touching. I really appreciate you guys coming out. So
So
thank
happy
you.
to have been
Thank you.
invited.
Thank you. You're welcome. You are welcome. Thank you. Thank you for answering the call. It was like they say they put the Batman signal up and y'all answered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
y'all
let me
answered.
just tweak a little something you said.
Okay.
You may not be in the Corvette family in the sense that you don't have a Corvette right now, but you'll always be in our family. So
Oh,
that's probably more important.
it is.
Corvettes
Thank
will
you.
come and go, but
Thank you. I
you
appreciate
know,
that.
that's
Yeah,
how we see you.
I appreciate
And
it.
Andrea too. So
Oh, of course. she's the real final boss, as Dr. Colonel called her.
I'm sure of it.
Yep. So tonight, Miss Pease, Tanya Pease, is a fascinating powerhouse who seamlessly blends her passions for the Corvette community, high-end fashion, impactful social work. Tanya, you are here on the Final Boss.
Thank you. Thank you for the platform. I appreciate it. I
Oh,
take it
oh,
lightly.
always. So let's start. Let's talk about let's talk about Corvettes. It's more than just cars, of course. It's a
Of course.
community. What
Absolutely.
draws I know because I'm in the community, but in your opinion, what draws people to the Corvette community?
So you can buy a lot of cars,
True.
and you can buy a lot of cars that are not even close to the price point of a Corvette.
Hmm.
But when you purchase a Corvette, you know that you are buying a lifestyle. You're buying into a lifestyle. Like you said, you're buying into a family.
Right.
Uh, just to use a quick example, you could go and buy a Camry. Nothing
Hmm.
wrong with Camrys,
Right.
reliable car, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But where will you see Camry t-shirts? And where will you see a Camry museum?
Mm.
And, where will you see a bunch of Camrys rolling down the highway together, 20, 30 deep?
Now, if I ever see that, we're gonna have a conversation.
Right. So,
Right.
when you buy a Corvette, you buy into that. When you drive down the street and another Corvette is approaching you,
Hmm.
you do the Corvette wave. You flash your
Absolutely.
headlights, you wave, whatever you're able to do.
Hmm.
Other car companies don't do that.
Yeah.
So you understand that you are buying into something bigger than just the car in the garage.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, when I was a kid, I would
Hmm.
always say, when I grow up, I'm going to have a Trans Am and a Corvette.
I used to love those Trans Ams, the black and gold ones from um what
Smokey
was
and
it?
the Bandit,
Smokey and the
big old
Bandit.
house
Yes,
on the
yes,
hood.
Smokey and the Bandit. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, used to love those shows, those movies growing up.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
was. I mean, so that's what it is. And then once you get bit, you are
Oh, yeah. Once you're in, you're in.
you're
Yeah.
in.
Yep. Yep.
You
I've
are
owned a
in.
couple, so um and I agree, it's more than just driving a car. It's a certain level of not only energy but synergy that comes along with it.
Mm.
And everybody I know who was a Corvette enthusiast, they were all about making their car theirs. It's a
Right.
certain level of individuality that you want to put into your your Corvette to make it yours. And when you're driving it, you know who car that is. And it doesn't
Right.
before you even see the personalized plates. I didn't have personalized plates, but a lot of people do. But before you see the personalized plates, you know exactly who car that is. So absolutely, absolutely.
And one thing that we do not do,
Hmm.
a Corvette is a Corvette is a Corvette.
Absolutely,
And if
absolutely.
you have a 72,
Hmm. Ooh,
a
that's a nice shape.
89,
Right.
a 2002,
Yeah.
or a 2025, a
Hmm.
Corvette is a Corvette is a Corvette, and we do not discriminate
We don't.
within our race.
Right. I said one day I would love to get a C3
Me too.
and turn it into a resto mod and put the latest tech and comforts, whatever. Just
Mhm.
it'll be a C3, but it'll be a modernized C3 with LED lights and all the crazy stuff. I love that. That's my favorite model, the C3. I love the C3.
That's actually when I fell in love with the Corvette, with the
Yep.
C3.
Yep. Hmm.
Uh, a friend of mine's husband had a C3, and they live in Virginia. A lot of people know this story, and he came
Right.
to Baltimore and took me to
Hmm.
the park. He had a black C3 with red interior. I think he still has it. I'm pretty sure he does.
I'm sure he does.
And that's when I fell in love with it, and
Yeah.
I did it.
Hmm.
So here we
Yep.
are.
That's, in my opinion, that is the original Batmobile. It has the long nose, and I said, that's the Batmobile for me. Yeah.
Right. And
Yep.
the newer Corvettes, like the 2025, the
Hmm.
front is short,
Right. Right. The
you
C8 is
know,
shorter. Yeah. Yeah.
right. It's
Yeah.
it's short.
Yeah.
So you have
Hmm.
to kind of get used to that. But a Corvette is a Corvette is a Corvette.
We're going to talk about your 2025 later on, but yeah.
That's
I-
Mr. P's. But I drove it
I
today.
know you did. I know you
So,
did.
yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car. Um,
Right.
Question: how does this community intersect with other interests, particularly in fashion and luxury?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
So you've probably seen some of the memes where the man has on the shorts that come to your knees,
Yeah.
the denim shorts,
And the New
and that's
Balance.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like that.
Right. I know.
It doesn't. Because
Hmm.
I'll tell you, I know people, myself included, who will build a whole wardrobe around the color of my car. Corvette gear, sneakers, everything matching
Right.
when you step out on the scene. So,
Hmm.
that gives you a chance to, tie into your car. It's
Okay.
it's not this is my car and I'm here.
Hmm.
No, we together. We in a relationship.
One.
And one. And
Right.
back in the day when boyfriend and girlfriend used to dress alike,
Yeah.
that's us in our car, right?
Yep.
You know, you
Yeah.
know.
I got a story to tell you. I'll wait till you finish. It's good. It's pretty
No,
funny
that
though.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
please go ahead. But that's what, but that's what I'm just saying, that it's not, we're not separate. We are
Hmm.
one. We are together. So you bring it all in. Hats, sunglasses. I got it
Hmm.
all. I got it all.
Right.
Jacket.
The
So you
works.
you 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 make it work. You
Yep.
definitely make it work.
Hmm.
Now, what's your story? Look at me interviewing you.
I know, right? um, Andrea, when our first date, I I subconsciously, wasn't deliberate. I was matching a car, and she wasn't used to the car community, any of that stuff. So she was like, "Why are you matching your car?" And then she was
Now,
like, "Why is this car so loud?" Huh?
Was this Priscilla?
No, no,
What?
no, no, no. This was Stormy.
Stormy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
This was after Priscilla. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This was Stormy. Yeah,
Why are you matching your car?
yeah. That was funny. I didn't even know. I had to look back, and I was like, "Oh, I, I am matching the card." Yeah. So
Good for you.
that was funny. It's
Good for you.
yeah, yeah.
Now, you remember when I had my C7 wrapped?
I love that rap. What was the name of that rap anyway?
It was called Flip Flop.
Okay, okay.
And true story, I did
Hmm.
not know that it was um psychedelic or flip flop like that.
Right.
And so, because I just looked at a little 4x4 card, swatch
Okay.
card.
Right. Right. Right.
So when I went back to my friend Steve, who wrapped it, when I went back to
Hmm.
his shop, he does this grand unveiling. It's behind the curtain and dun, 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 dun.
Right. Right. Right.
And, and he pulled the curtain back, and I was like, oh, well, I'm sure this is a
Yeah.
family show.
Yeah.
But it grew on me. I can't, I mean, I just, the first day I was like, oh, wow, I'm
Mm,
excited. Then I was like, wait a minute. But then, it grew on me, and I
yeah.
really, really did like it. And people, I must have
People
gotten
loved it.
one
Oh
question
man. Yeah.
about it.
Um. The oohs and ahs you would receive were incredible. People would just walk. They would take pictures of your car, and they just it was perfectly done. It was, and it matches your personality. It was amazing. It
Oh,
really
thank
was.
you.
Yep, it
Well, I
really was.
will, if I can, I would like to just shout out Steve. He did a great job on my car,
Yeah,
and
shout Steve
when it
out.
was
You need your car
well,
wrapped? Yeah.
no.
Oh,
I took the wrap, when he took the wrap off, he
uh-huh.
got the paint corrected,
Okay.
took the car back to black. It's beautiful.
Mm.
And Steve passed away December
Oh,
of 23. It's
oh
been a
no.
little over a year.
Okay.
So, I'm so grateful to him
Mhm.
um for feeling good enough about our friendship that he could do that to my car
Right.
and know that it was going to work for me. Like
That
that
was a lot
takes
of confidence. He knew you.
exactly,
For real. He did.
exactly,
Yeah. Right.
and I recognize that
Yeah.
was, him knowing me.
Mhm.
So I appreciated that. I got a lot of love with my car when it was that way.
Yeah.
I would see I would see my car on YouTube. People would call me or text me and say, "I just saw what I think is your car in a video on YouTube," and I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And then, yep. So there would be. So yeah.
That's the one thing that it took me some time to get used to. People taking pictures of your car, finding you on social media or recording it and
Hmm.
finding you on social media and send you the recording or the picture. Like, hey, you just passed me, or hey, I saw you earlier, or I'm like, whoa, that's kind of, but I
Weird.
understood
Yeah.
it.
Right. Right.
But
I
yeah,
mean, I would be on, like, say, the Beltway or
yeah.
95, and I
Hmm,
need to
hmm.
get over to make this exit. But you right next to me videoing.
Right.
I need to get over. So I slow up, you slow up so you can do your video. I speed up, you speed up so you can do your video. I appreciate the love, but I gotta get off
Right.
at this exit.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
so it's
Okay.
just part of it,
It's
part of the
part of
game.
it.
That's
Yep.
all.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, taking a stride.
So, question:
Mhm.
You've successfully navigated the world of fashion and luxury. What are some key insights you've gained?
So, Imma go deep first, and then Imma
Oh,
come back
yeah,
up.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, one of the things that I have learned is that we gotta do better as a people
Okay.
when it comes to things like this baby has 12 pair of Jordans and no college fund.
Right.
We got to do better.
Yeah.
We got to do better with, and I'm going to just put it out there, sis, don't be mad at me out there. We got to do better with garments, with how
Mhm.
garments fit us. We
Mhm.
can't sacrifice looking appropriate and neat and nice just because you want to have LV or Gucci or whatever on your back. It still needs to look classic.
Right.
And
Right.
so that's what I always go for.
Okay.
I do not mind buying expensive clothes, shoes, purses. I
Mhm.
can tell you, last night I was out with some friends. I had on a pair of Chanel boots, and I bought those boots in 1997.
Right.
They were very
Yeah.
expensive,
Right.
but they're classic. They will never go out of style.
Mhm.
Chanel never goes out
Never.
of
It's those classic pieces just from certain brand houses, it just never goes out of
style.
style.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
but I
they're probably worth more
now, yes,
today than they were when you first purchased them because certain fashion houses, the brand, it appreciates.
it's an investment. It
It's an
really
investment.
is.
It's like a piece of art, actually. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's my deep point about fashion. Like
Okay.
I sit back and I look at things sometimes and I'm like, oh. But if you are in a place in your life where you can afford to do fashion and that's your thing, I'm not
Mhm.
mad at you. Let's go.
Right.
I'm not judging you. If you're making bad decisions to 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 get into a house, as you would say,
Mm-hmm.
at the expense of the rent's not paid, that's something we might need to talk about. But
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, Timu and Shein is changing the game. Okay. Like, are we going to have a house of Timu and a house of Shein? I'm just asking because I ain't above it. Okay. I ain't above popping some Shein tags on vacation.
Listen, there you have it. The boss lady, Tanya's input. Listen. OMG, man.
But you
OMG.
know what? When I purchase that stuff, I know that they are not the mainstay staples of my wardrobe.
Right.
They
Right.
are something to, have a little fun in, get out in vacation and or whatever. Don't care if
Right.
you get wet, lost, ripped, whatever. But
Yeah.
hey, do you, sis? Just look neat. That's all I want. Wear the
Mm-hmm.
proper undergarments. That's all I
Right.
want. Just look neat. That's all.
Okay.
I don't care what you wear.
All right.
Be neat.
Be neat. Got it.
I mean, I prefer it to be Prada or Gucci, but
be Prada, Gucci, be neat.
but just be neat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So that's
Got it.
all.
All right. Thank you for that. I appreciate you and your honesty.
Now,
and your most authentic self. Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
trying
Thank
to
you.
be.
Yes.
Now, I am a sneakerhead. I love sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
That's just my thing. One of my things. Sorry, but I love sneakers. And I've noticed online, like on social media, there's a lot of groups for females and sneakers, and I'm like, okay, all right, I like this.
Guess who else is a sneakerhead?
You.
Well, of course, me, but outside of me, you just met them.
Sydney?
Nope. Dr. Colonel.
Dr. Colonel is a sneakerhead?
Dr. Colonel is a sneakerhead.
Girl.
Listen, she got some gems in her collection. I was at her house not too long ago, and I was in her closet, and she's a fashionista. So I'm in her closet, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at her sneaker collection. And I'm like, I didn't know you was a sneakerhead. And like, she has some real gems in her collection.
Good for her.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
for real.
Yeah. I love sneakers,
Yeah.
So I love Christians,
Mm-hmm.
but I only love the ones that.
So you like, are you like the luxury brand sneakers? That's what you're referring to.
No, I like Nike.
Okay.
I like Nike.
Gotcha.
I like Jordans, but I also like you said, the luxury brand sneakers.
Gotcha.
I have some Prada sneakers, some Christian sneakers, some Balenciaga sneakers.
Yeah.
So I'll do those too. But this is my thing.
What's that?
You can't really wear them all the time.
No, you can't.
Can wear Nikes, it's just Nikes. Yeah. Whatever.
Right.
You want them 2 days in a row? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wearing no I'm not
exactly.
Wearing
right.
They just, so we got to make that distinction in the closet too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day, not every day.
Not every day, right. The Balenciagas I had on for my birthday.
Yeah.
I don't know when I would wear those again.
Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah, I had them just for that occasion. So unless there's another occasion that's similar or something further down the line, then maybe they'll pop out. But no, I don't know.
Right. Because me, I would be like, oh, he had those on at the birthday party.
I
just
see you.
saw
I see you.
I just saw those.
He's repeating. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh
You know,
man.
I have a skirt that is really cute.
Okay.
It has ruffles on it, it has
Uh-huh.
sequins on it, it's really cute.
Mhm.
I wear that skirt once every 2 years, and I won't be around the same people
I can
because
dig it.
you see that skirt, you will not forget it. And I don't want you to say, "Dang, the last time we got together, she had that skirt
She
on."
had that
No,
skirt on. It's so
no,
funny. Oh my God.
no.
Uh,
And it's a great skirt, so I'm
yeah.
never gonna, you know,
Not wear it. Right.
not right, or get
Yeah.
rid of it. No,
Hmm.
but she just can't come out often,
Got it. Yeah.
so she understands.
I'm quite sure she does. Quite sure
I
she
hope.
does.
I hope.
How do you balance the pursuit of luxury with social responsibility?
Yeah, so my pastor would probably,
Who's your
oh,
pa-
well,
who's your
first,
who's your pastor?
um, Reverend Dr. Stanley Fuller,
Okay. Okay.
and his lovely wife, co-pastor,
Hmm.
Reverend Dr. Ann Lightner Fuller.
Okay.
And I believe, you know, we always go back to our roots. And when I was
Hmm.
a kid, my uncle was the pastor of the church that I attended. I was raised Baptist. You know, you
Hmm.
want to get to a point where you can tithe. And my uncle would always say, you can't tithe if you're in a lot of debt, you know,
Hmm.
because you shouldn't be in a lot of debt. That's not what we're supposed to be.
Hmm.
And so being social, so to answer your question, I can't put myself in a place where I can't take care of things that I'm supposed to, like
Right.
tithe, you know, um, like give back to my community. You know,
Hmm.
I'm involved in some charitable organizations and it
We're gonna get to that.
requires
Yeah.
money, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you gotta stay in your means.
Okay.
I wish they had a class in schools that taught kids about being financially responsible.
Yeah.
Putting,
Yeah.
you
Having
know, I
financial
don't think
responsibility.
that exists the way that I'm thinking that it should exist, if
Hmm.
it does exist. But you have to be able to um handle your business responsibly,
Hmm.
and then everything else is yours to play with.
Mm.
So do it backwards. Don't buy the $6,000 purse
Hmm.
and then live off the rest.
Hmm.
Do what you have to do,
Take care of
and
business.
then
Yeah.
the rest is yours to play with.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you, I don't judge. You know, listen, if you want to buy a house, you don't want to buy a house, you know, because that's always a big thing. You'll hear, especially older people, they'll be like, "You buying all that stuff and you don't even have a house."
Right.
Well, some people don't want a house. You
Yeah.
know,
True. So house is a lot of responsibility.
it is. It's a
Yeah.
lot of responsibility.
Absolutely.
Um,
Hmm.
and there are pros and cons, and I understand
Yeah.
both arguments.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah.
I need the tax shelter. My
That,
kids are grown. I need the
hmm
tax shelter.
I could
You
dig
know,
it.
so
Absolutely.
but yeah, just handle business
Hmm.
and then play.
Okay. All right. So
Mhm.
there you have it, good people. To my smarts out there, the Mrs. Tanya Pease, as she indulges us with her knowledge on fashion and Corvettes. So now we're gonna pivot, right? We're gonna
Okay.
talk about some things that are near and dear. So we're gonna shift gears and we're gonna talk about a critical issue that you mentioned.
Okay.
And that critical issue is food scarcity and food deserts, and how that is disproportionately affects certain communities. What do you believe, in your opinion, are the underlying causes?
So,
And let the people know how you are able to speak on this particular topic, because you're in the health community as well.
right.
Yeah.
So I have a rental property in Baltimore City.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, there was a market that was not far from the property.
Okay.
It wasn't the best market,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a market, and then it closed.
Okay.
And I understand the issues that they had. Staffing it was an issue. I mean, I spoke to the manager before they closed. Staffing was an issue. Theft was a huge issue.
Okay.
So now you have removed the one major source that these people had in that area
Right.
to go and get food. Sure, they can go to the corner store. What do you call them? The
Right.
bodegas.
You're not really getting no nutrition out of there, though.
Not really. Not fast.
Right.
Not frozen food that you pop in the microwave full
Yeah.
of sodium and,
Exactly.
like you said, not nutritious, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely not what the hypertensive people in our community need. More
Right.
sodium, more salt. No.
Right.
So, it just made me think, like, everybody doesn't just jump in their car and
Mm-hmm.
drive to whatever market they want to go to, put the groceries in the trunk, and go back home. It
True.
just doesn't happen that way.
Correct.
And I've met some people. I have a cousin. He's very involved in nutrition and
Mm-hmm.
farming and things like that. I met a young lady. She's very involved in teaching young people how to select more nutritious foods
Okay.
when they have an option to select what it is that they eat.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as we all know, when you are a child, you eat what your parents or the adults in the house provide you to eat.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
So, getting the children to be able to make better choices when they have that option to make better choices,
Mm-hmm.
I think is real important, and that's what that young lady does. Okay. I will tell you, I worry about when school is closed, because school provides nutrition. Sometimes the only meals that a child may get during the week is from school.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
So you close school, let's just say on a snow day.
Yeah.
Suddenly school is closed, due to inclement weather.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know that they have something to eat at home?
Right.
When they are relying on the school system as their main source of nutrition, what do they do on the weekends?
Mm.
What do they do all summer? Like,
That's
so right. So those are some things that really are on my radar. And I'm currently involved in a program at the Associated Black Charities in Baltimore.
Okay.
Where I am, it's a course over 6 weeks where I am learning how to be a good board member for a nonprofit or a profit, just to be a good board member. Because when I graduate from this class, my hope is to get on the board of an organization that has something like this on their agenda to tackle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really it's not as easy. It's just not an easy thing to fix.
Right.
You build another you let's just say you build another grocery store in the middle of this urban, this inner city area.
Mm-hmm.
you need, again, staffing,
Yeah.
loss prevention,
Hmm.
and then just you can buy lettuce all day long, but if that's not the food choice that people are going to make.
Right. But on top of that, I'm glad you just mentioned that. Nutrition costs. People,
Sure.
when I was on my bachelor's, when I was working on my bachelor's degree, I had took a class on I think it was nutrition or something. It was one of those um
Like a
classes,
general
just
education
yeah,
requirement.
something like that. And that's when I learned about food deserts. But then at the same time, it's also when I learned why you can get a whole meal from a fast food restaurant back then for about $10, but to get ingredients to make that same meal from a nutritional as perspective, it's going to cost you about 20-30 bucks. And
And try doing it in a house with no gas and electric.
right, that point, right there. So nutrition does cost more than junk food, fast food, or any of these go-tos that pop into the ovens and real quick, like you said, those sodium filled quick appetite pleasers. Those things are they're relatively inexpensive, and they're usually there are a lot of people, especially kids, go to, you know versus eating a quality salad. you know
Right,
yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
right.
So
It's easy.
go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
I just said it's easier.
Yeah, it is
Mom,
definitely easier.
I worked all day,
Yeah.
then I had to come go and pick you and these other kids up,
All right.
and then we gotta do homework and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah. True.
I
True.
get it,
True. Yeah. Mm.
but the conversation needs to be
Yeah.
on the table.
Because easy and lazy will hurt you in the future. That's why probably number one reason why America as a whole has so many health problems because of the food selection.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion. You know, I'm no doctor or I'm not in the medical field, but that's what the science says. So yeah.
Sure, sure.
Um, what do you think, in your opinion, are some potential solutions for that?
So, again, it's, education.
Education. Hmm.
You
Hmm.
have to break the cycle
Right.
somewhere. You have to break the cycle. I think, First Lady Michelle Obama had the the right idea in requiring schools to give healthy lunches,
Hmm.
to students. I think that was,
That was a
you
good
know.
initiative. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, sure,
Yeah.
sure. That should help move the needle with a younger generation.
Hmm.
Um, but I disagree. And I know you asked me about solutions, but solution that I think was put in place was to get away from these like big gulps and the big super gulps and
Yeah. Yeah.
you listen, we all have a choice.
We
And
do.
if that's your choice,
Hmm.
who am I to limit you or to restrict you from what it is that you want to do,
Correct.
you know? But
Hmm.
I would hope that at some point someone is able to, in an inner city, look at what options do we have. And I know that there are probably people who are looking at this and it's not something that, we're discovering here tonight that exists.
Right.
There is probably someone trying to figure out how to make this happen.
Hmm.
Um, I remember when I was a kid, the man came around with the cart, the horse, and all the fruit was on the back of the cart.
Wait,
and
wait,
he was
wait, wait.
hollering.
Time out. Flag on the play. Now a cart with fruit. What?
Yeah. And
Where was this?
he would come through the streets of Baltimore. I think they call them Arabs. They would come through the streets of Baltimore, and he would
Really?
holler, watermelon, bananas, and people would come outside to the cart. Yes,
Wow.
and they would get their fruit.
Okay.
So maybe we can't get big markets in the inner city. Maybe we can get small ones, but small ones that are stocked with nutritional items,
Right.
that are easy, that you can take home and make a quick meal. Listen, I know my grandmother, she cooked on Sunday and it was enough food to last us till Tuesday.
Man, listen.
Eat it all today if you want to, but I'm not cooking again until Tuesday.
And the whole family came over to eat on Sundays, right after church.
Right.
With all well, after the first, second, third, fourth church service, then dinner. You know what I'm talking about.
If Pastor was coming over, you better save that big piece of chicken.
Right, exactly.
And don't talk about playing outside in the alley.
Right. And you better not go out there in your church clothes. So
and hide the liquor.
Right. Oh, yeah, that part. Moving on. We talked about Corvettes in the car community. We talked about fashion. We talked about nutrition and food deserts. Another topic, because we're gonna pivot again. Another topic that we're gonna dive in real quick about is something that's near and dear to both of us, and that is domestic violence. And domestic violence is another devastating issue. In your opinion, what are some of the key challenges in addressing this issue?
I'll tell you, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the buzzword of self-esteem.
Okay.
Because I feel like you can be the most upbeat, positive person and find yourself in a situation where you are drugged down. So I hear people say that all the time. Oh, she must have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
And I said men are abused too.
Yeah. Men are abused too.
Be clear.
Statistically speaking, you should see those numbers. So I'm gonna interject for a second. Shout out to Angel, who's part of the Corvette community. Angel, we give you a shout out if you get a chance to see this podcast. We're talking about you.
I'm going to see her Sunday, so I'm going to tell her to
watch tell her. Awesome. Her story is a very touching story. And I did an interview with her a few years ago in reference to not only her story, but domestic violence. And I was so moved by her story. And, she tells her story and her organization that she's involved in, which is surrounding domestic violence. And she let me see some of the statistics, and I was just blown away. Yes, men are abused too. Men are abused too. Yep. But yeah, go ahead, continue. I'm sorry. Shout out to Angel. Yeah.
No, yes. 2 shouts out to Angel. But no, so I think that sometimes we find ourselves in situations and you look around and you're like, wait, how did this happen? And there are so many reasons why it continues. I mean, we already know, you don't know where to go. You don't know how you're going to go. If you go, what is he going to do then if you do go?
Right.
oh, we got these kids together. Oh, I can't afford it. I mean, the reasons go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at some point, um, we have to pay closer attention to the signs of domestic violence.
Mm.
And I used to be an ER nurse, and we
Okay.
would go through a questionnaire with patients when they would come into the ER. Is anyone at home hurting you, bothering you, whatever?
Right.
And we would literally scan through that so fast
Mm.
until if someone wanted to say something to you,
Mm-hmm.
because you just assume this young woman, she's sitting here, she's well dressed, her nails are done, her hair is done, she acts like she's got it all together. She can't be abused at home,
Right.
right?
Right.
So we just going to do a cursory because we have to ask. We're going to zoom through these questions.
Mm-hmm.
No, because sometimes you could be that one person that they've decided today they're going to open up to.
Mm.
Everybody is not prepared to get on TV and talk about how they were abused.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because there is a lot of shame, there's a lot of hurt,
Mm-hmm.
there are people that you may want to protect. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
your mom may not know that you're being abused, and you may not want to put that out there for her to know because maybe she can't handle it, or
Right.
or you would be looked at in a different light if she knew. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of reasons why everyone's story can't be on the front page, but they still have a story.
Absolutely. They still have a story. Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that as time goes on,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I I hope that the judges listen
Mm.
and I never really understood what protective orders did. It's a piece of paper, and if he's still gonna come after you, he's still gonna come after you.
Yeah. The statistics involving those orders and the amount of violence that still happens, although the order is in place, is tremendous. It truly is. It truly is.
There was a young woman, and this story has this story has got to be maybe 15, 20 years old,
Mm.
and it stuck with me.
Mm.
She had 5 kids, lived in Baltimore City,
Okay.
went to the courthouse to get a protective order against her abusive partner, who was I don't think he was a police officer, but he had a lot of friends that were police officers, and they let
Ah.
him know that that's where
Mm.
she was, that's what she got. And when she came out of that courthouse, he stabbed her to death right there on the sidewalk.
Wow.
5 kids
Wow.
instantly became orphans.
Wow.
While he was, I guess, in jail and she was at the hospital fighting for her life before she passed away, they broke into her house and stole all the kids' Christmas stuff.
Oh no.
So, and she did lose her life. And so now
Uh,
these kids have to endure
they don't have any
this
parents now. Yeah,
right.
except
They
for
endure
maybe
this
the
world,
system. Yeah, or
right.
family. Family. Yeah.
But
Mm.
she was just trying to create a safe environment for herself and her kids,
Wow.
and that's what she got. And that's what she was awarded, if you will.
Mm.
It's terrible. It is. Why not? Just why can't everyone just split? Just go
Yeah.
before we get to that point. Just but it's complicated. It's
Yeah.
complicated, and it hurts. It hurts me to see, even on TV. Like if I'm watching a movie and that's how they go, I'm ducking. I can't. I
I get
can't
it.
handle it.
I get it. I get it.
I can't handle it.
I get it.
But I'm hoping that, someone, if they're out there and they need someone to talk to listen, to help them, there has to be a safe place where people can go. And I'm telling you, I'm sure we would miss people in the emergency room who were there because maybe their arm was broken and they said their arm was broken because they fell. But they didn't really fall.
Right.
And we didn't give them the space to say, what really happened. But you do your best and you hope that people will eventually find their way to crawl out of that situation.
Right.
But it's really sad. I will tell you,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I will tell you that and that if anyone is in need of help and they see this.
Hold that thought, because my next question is going to lead into the statement that you're about to say.
Okay.
What role can communities play in supporting victims and preventing future instances of domestic violence? And if you have any information available, can you drop it here? So if anybody does see this, they have a hotline or some information they can reach out to.
Yeah. So, the believe it or not, you can walk into any police station, fire station, emergency room, and say you need help.
Okay.
And get the ball rolling in that process of getting you out of that situation.
Right.
But and communities, we need to hold our elected officials and judges, we need to hold their feet to the fire. You cannot let these people that commit these crimes against their partner back on the street with a slap on the wrist.
Right.
There is no reason for someone to have multiple battery charges on their record and they are still going home tonight.
Yeah.
So we've got to get our laws in order so that people pay. And let me just say this, and this is, and I'm really waiting for this to happen.
Okay.
I noticed how the celebrities, Diddy, Epstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, all these people who basically have been accused of committing crimes, domestic violence crimes against people. When is that gonna, fall down to the man who just works at the gas station, who is going home beating his wife every night?
Oh, wow.
When are we gonna move from the big celebrities down to the everyday man? Because it is happening with the everyday man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He should face the same consequence. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Granted, take the minors out. Of course, R. Kelly, he was accused with minors. I'm talking about I'm not talking about that type of domestic violence. I'm just talking about husbands, wives, boyfriend, girlfriend. Right. When is that type of punishment going to trickle down to the everyday man? When are we going to start at the lower level of making people, accountable for their actions? You want to cut up and beat your wife up? Well, guess what? You can't work here. When is that going to start happening?
That's a great question.
You want to go and you want to beat your wife on the weekends, and then you think you're going to come and work here all week? Can't do it.
Yeah.
So society needs to get tired of it.
Mm. But in
And
order
then
in order for society to get tired of it, more mouths need to be talking about it.
we got to hold their feet
It's
to the
it's
fire.
it's too much in silence. I and we're down to the last 5 minutes. I was a MP in the military, and the amount of domestic violence that happens on base and the child abuse on base is
Really?
OMG. It's crazy. And
But in the military, don't you get in trouble, like kicked
yeah,
out or
yeah, absolutely. You get UCMJ actions, you get arrested, you can go to Fort Leavenworth and spend a lot of time, but that doesn't stop it from happening. It happens. It happens. Yep. Yep.
you
It
know?
is. That's a conversation that we can pull up some statistics and get some military folk on here and we can talk about it. But yeah.
You'll go to jail for beating a dog. Believe that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And hey, listen, I love a dog. Dogs and
Yeah.
came up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying nothing about the dog, so don't start writing me letters
Right.
about that. I
We love our
love dogs,
pets.
right? But I'm just saying,
Yeah. Yeah.
a certain group of people got tired of
Mm,
animal cruelty, and they did
mhm.
something about it and put laws in place where you will go to jail if you abuse an animal.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you will go to jail if you abuse a human being, but it appears that you get so many chances.
Mm,
So
yeah. Okay. Well,
that was a fast hour.
I'm told you it was gonna be a fast hour. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Tanya Pease.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Wait,
Oh,
you're
I want to do.
welcome. Wait a minute. That's not supposed to happen. I hit the wrong button.
Oh, I thought it was God talking. I'm like, wait a minute. I ain't do nothing today. I was a good girl today.
Go repent. No, stop. Listen, Mrs. Tanya Pease, everyone. Oh
Thank
man,
you.
such a
Bye.
pleasure. No, we're not going anywhere yet. So,
Oh, we're
and
not? Okay.
and I want you to stay on. We got to have our after conversation after the show ends. But for
Okay.
the last 2 minutes, is there anything you want to say? Any information, charities, anything you are involved in? You want to tell the people about? Go.
Okay. So I want to tell people about, like I said, the Associated Black Charities.
Mhm.
Please support them. They need your help.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take you back old school. I'm a member of NAACP in my
Okay.
area.
All right.
Please get you a little membership.
Mm-hmm.
They need your support.
Okay.
And I don't have to tell you, in times like this one, we really need as many people united, fighting for us and our needs as we can get. So
Okay.
yes, I'm working with those. I am actually also working on a project right now to collect prom dresses to help young girls for the prom this year.
Okay.
And we're going to probably extend that project to get them help with job interviews and the proper clothes for that. So
Okay.
that's something I'm working on. And they can send me a message or send you a message, and you can send it to me about the prom dresses.
All right.
But yeah, it's a lot. We got a lot of stuff that's coming up.
Okay.
And exciting time to be me.
All right. Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Mrs. Tanya. Oh, wait a minute. Aren't you doing something with firearms training for women? You
Yes.
10 seconds. You put it out there.
Okay, April 5th and 6th. If you want to take the carry and conceal class, give me a call. Let me know. And we opened it up to fellas too. So
Okay.
yeah, because they were not, y'all want to do everything we do. So yeah, so contact Turbo and we'll give you the information. April 5th and 6th. The cost is $300, $50 to save your spot. And it's in Baltimore City. Okay? Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for tonight. This is The Final Boss. I am the final boss, Mrs. Tanya Pease. Thank you again. Have a great night. Have a great week. Hey,
Have a great time.
Stay balanced, stay equal, stay smart. That's our show for tonight. Y'all have a great one.